The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users, on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. No retribution, certainly not like what we see in Iran, and where you can also subscribe to my Twitter feed, twitter.com/GaryBaumgarten, where we try to bring you all the news about Iran so that you're up to date on what's going on. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. I am very pleased that our guest today is a scholar of Iranian studies who on very short notice, because of horrific developments today in Iran, agreed to come on the show to help put it in perspective and speak for his people. We're going to get to Dr. Hooman Sarshar in just a second, but before we do, I have a video to show you that shows the security forces in Iran and how they are treating their own people. This is fresh video shot today. Boaz, could you please roll it?
مشاهده میکنید که این تصاویر از درگیری ها در تهران هستش. منابع خبری از بروز درگیری در یکی از میدانهای شمال شهر تهران بین پلیس و همینطور حامیان میرحسین موسوی خبر داده بودند، کسانی که به نتایج اعلام شده توسط وزارت کشور اعتراض دارند و خبرگزاری ها در واقع این درگیری ها رو جدیترین ناآرامی در تهران در یک دهه گذشته خونده بودند. این تصاویری که می‌بینید آخرین تصاویری هستش که از تهران به دست ما رسیده و در اون نیروی انتظامی و همینطور مأموران لباس شخصی رو می‌بینید که با معترضان به نتایج اعلام شده انتخابات ایران درگیر شدند. این تصاویر لحظاتی پیش به دست ما رسیده و آخرین تصاویری هستش که از درگیری‌ها در سطح شهر تهران منتشر شده.
CRN Digital Talk Radio, we are now seeing a guy down on the ground and the security forces kicking him when he's down. Now that video, which was aired by the BBC's Persian service earlier today, pales in comparison to the horrific, almost unspeakable violence that occurred a little bit later. This is an interview on the telephone with a woman who witnessed this and called in to CNN in Atlanta. I caution you that what you are about to hear is extremely disturbing. Boaz?
They tried to beat everyone on Saadi Bridge and throwing them off of the bridge.
This is a pedestrian bridge.
Yes, pedestrian bridge, and everyone also on the sidewalks. They beat a woman so savagely that she was drenched in blood, and her husband, who was watching the scene, he just fainted. And I also saw people shooting. The security forces shooting on people on Lalezar, and of course people were brave. They booed the security forces, but they were beating people like hell. This was a massacre. They were trying to beat people so that they would die. They were cursing, saying very bad words to everyone. They were beating old men, and this was exactly a massacre. You should stop this. You should stop this. You should help the people of Iran who demand freedom.
You should stop this. You should stop this. Her plea to us. Very disturbing. I don't think anybody could question the veracity of that caller. You can hear it in her voice. They threw pedestrians off a bridge. How horrific is that? Hooman Sarshar, scholar of Iranian studies, holds a PhD from Columbia University. You, sir, have been watching with horror along with the rest of the world what's going on in Iran. How does one explain this inhumanity at the hands of this regime? And welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, Gary. Thank you very much for having me on your show. I have indeed been watching these atrocities. I've been watching everything, the live feeds coming in through YouTube, through Facebook, on television, through various news programs. And on a human level, you know, how people can treat each other this way, how they can treat another human being this way, is a question that has, you know, baffled me for many, many years. I really still cannot find an answer for it. But on a political level, I think that what is really going on is that the world is for the first time finally seeing the face of the Islamic Republic that the Iranian people have known about for over 30 years. It is exactly with the same kind of brutality that the Islamic Republic of Iran came into power. It is with the same level of brutality that during the early years of their position in Iran, they murdered many, many civilians, many people from the previous regime in cold blood in order to gain power. And they are now showing to the whole world the extent to which they will go to hold on to the power that they essentially usurped approximately 30 years ago, and that nothing will stand in their way.
You know, I'm very concerned, as I'm sure you are as well, Hooman Sarshar, about the fact that they have muzzled or expelled the Western journalists. They have begun the process of expelling diplomats from the West. If there's nobody there to witness this, and thank God for the internet, thank God for the brave, young, mainly men and women who are putting their very lives in jeopardy by recording these images for us all to see. But if they're able to continue these atrocities under cover of darkness, you have a much better understanding of this, sir, than I do. But I will tell you that I, as someone who is trying to play catch up a little bit behind the curve from where you are, I am really concerned about, frankly, the mortality of some of the people who have been involved in this show of freedom or